Good morning, everyone. I'm really delighted to see all of you and to welcome you to the class this morning. And I hope that I'm just going to mute you all so that wherever, anyway, I'm trying to mute you all eventually. I think you're pretty well muted here. Mute everyone. Okay. Okay, I think that's okay. Everyone's muted. All right. So welcome, everyone. Today we're going to look at space because I'm thinking of space and place and where we're located, smoke in the air, and how to find space. The Zen proverb that I'm going to begin with is, the mind should be like an empty rice bowl. If it is full, the universe can't fill it up. I like that idea of having an empty mind from time to time. And so the element of space is akasha in Ayurvedic philosophy, yogic philosophy, which is a kind of medicinal philosophy. And it is the element of space, or ether, is the most subtle of the elements. It's the space of the mind, the sense organ, or the ears and sound. The chakra is the fifth chakra. And the vocabulary around space is unmanifest, subtle, container, primordial, emptiness, spirit, awareness, consciousness, receptivity, acceptance, perception, and the source. Imbalance shows up as spaciness, dissociation from reality, nervous system problems. Now, I tend to dissociate a lot, so I'm quite fascinated by this notion of space. We're just going to begin in our sense of space and spaciness with some breathing. And I'm just located here in my beautiful smoky city with all of my air purifiers on. And I'm just going to pin myself because otherwise it won't work today. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to stretch out my arms. I'm standing up in Tadasana, stretching out my arms. And I'm going to lift my arms straight above my head, palms together, and just stretch out each side of our body, finding as much space as I can. And I'm stretching my arms out all the way around to the ground. Now, if you have a belt, you could pick up a belt and you can hold on to it above your head and really stretch your arms out. You can lift your shoulders up and then bring them down. Lift your shoulders up and bring them down. Lift your shoulders up and bring them down. And then we're going to just pull that belt back behind you and down. And we're going to lift up straight arms and forward. And once again, up to the top, stretching, really reaching, and to the back, and up, really reaching, up, and then to the front. And we're going to do this a few more times just to open up our shoulders, which if we are sitting doing our writerly work or any kind of work on the computer, they get very stressed out. So we're finding lots of space. And while we're doing this, we're thinking of the rice bowl and how it is filled up and emptied. And we are breathing, inhaling and raising the arms up, and exhaling. Inhaling, raising the arms up, and then exhaling. And now we're going to just fold over and suspend ourselves over top of our legs here we've still got our belt here, and we're going to bend one knee and then the other knee, one knee and then the other knee, one knee and the other knee. And then we're going to hold on to the belt. We're going to come up with a straight back, lift up, inhale, and then move that belt behind us again. We're going to open our legs up wide, and we're going to just do this again with our belt. We're going to fold forward with our belt stretching out and touch the ground. And then we're going to come up, stretching out, and bring it behind us. And then we're going to stretch it up again, fold forward with our belt, straight back, stretch it out, and then come back up. There we are. And I think that's our shoulders should be done or done in by now. Okay, and we're just going to embrace ourselves, give us a little self-care. And we're going to rotate our body. We've still got our legs out wide. And we're going to just come down to the right leg with our arms around our shoulders. And we're going to move over to the left and then circle back up. And we're going to move the other way. There we go. Good. And now we're going to put our arms out, and we're going to wiggle our feet in and stand once again in Tadasana. Okay, we'll come to the top of our mat, and we'll do some space-making sun salutations here. Okay, standing on the mat, feeling our feet grounded, feeling our upper body lift up. We can feel our pelvis tilt slightly forward, and we can rock back and forth and see where is the weight on our feet. Is it balanced between our heels and our toe mounds? Okay, lift our arms up, inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Lift up halfway, and then forward fold, exhale. Hands down, right leg back, knee to the ground. Lift up, look up, inhale, exhale. Hands to the ground, plank, and we're just going to rest in plank for a moment here. We're going to feel the weight on our toes, energy moving out our heels, and we can press into our hands to keep ourselves straight. And we're holding the space here for ourselves for a moment. Some of us have many responsibilities, and we want to just let go in this moment. And now we're going to lower down. You can go knees, chest, chin, or you can go down chaturanga. You can go into a low cobra or an upward dog. So we're going to move down. I'm doing chaturanga, and then forward and up into downward dog. And I'm once again just pressing my legs straight. I'm opening my chest. I'm feeling my collarbone moving forward. And I'm going back onto my toes and into downward dog. Pressing into my hands and my feet, feeling my shoulders open. Now in downward dog, it's interesting. You want to feel that your upper arms are rotating out, and your palms and the flat of your hand are kind of rotating in to keep yourself on the mat flat. You're sucking in your belly button. Your jewels of organs are being pressed against your spine by your belly button. And your tailbone is feeling heavy while your hip bones are moving upwards. Your thighs are moving back. And we're just resting in this very powerful downward dog. Once again, we're holding space for this posture, for the benefits it makes to us. And now we're going to lift the right leg up, point it back, and bring it in and touch our nose with the right leg. And then we're pressing it back. and straight out the back. And in, we're pressing it towards our left elbow, and then we're pressing it back, pressing it towards our right elbow, and then pressing it back. We're going to bend that right knee and move the hips one on top of the other, and straighten the right knee, and then bring that foot forward between the hands and bring the left foot forward, fold over. Just suspend yourself here for a moment, giving yourself a little break. You can put your wrists between your on the crease of your elbows and let the weight of your upper torso fill your back with space. So when we're breathing here, our back is quite open, and you can feel the breath, inhalation, fill up the back body, and then exhale. Now we're going to move into the halfway lift, which is a little bit of a back bend. And we're just going to rest here for a moment. Our hands can be on our knees or our shins. And we're inhaling and exhaling briefly. And then we're folding forward again, exhaling. And now inhaling with a big breath in through your nose. Up, look up, stretch up, and then arms down by our sides. All right, that's the right foot. Now we're going to work on this making space in our sun salutation, taking time to really feel each pose. So inhale, look up, exhale, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, down, left leg back, left knee down, look up, arms up, inhale, and then hands frame the foot back into plank. And we're going to just rest here for a moment. And now we're going to move down chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, and then up. I'm doing downward dog. I'm pressing the tops of my feet into the ground and my hands into the ground. And now I'm turning my toes and moving back into downward dog. Exhaling and inhaling here, feeling those upper arms rotate out, and feeling the lower arm, the hands, rotating in. Here we go. We're just pushing into our hands, pushing into our heels, pressing our thighs back to straighten our knees, and feeling the belly button move towards the spine. Imagine that I'm there and I've got my fingers in that hip crease and I'm pulling you up and back, and you feel yourself lift up. Now we're going to lift the left leg up, point the foot, and bring the knee in to touch your nose. And then we're moving the foot back, point it up, and bring it in to touch your right elbow. And then point it up, bring it in to touch your left elbow, point it up. And now we're going to bend that left knee. I'm lowering my right heel, and I'm torquing my body so that my left hip is over top of my right hip, or a reasonable facsimile of that. Then I'm going to straighten the left leg and bring it up to my knee, my nose rather, and bring it forward between my hands. Then bring my right leg forward and forward fold. Just resting here. And here I can hold on to my ankles and I can pull myself down a little further perhaps. Or you can just rest in this posture, whichever you like. I'm breathing, inhaling, and exhaling here. Inhaling and exhaling. Now I'm going to come up to the halfway lift. Inhaling, forward fold, exhaling, and inhaling, big inhalation through your nose. Up, look up, arms up, and then here we go. Hands at your side. Okay, so let's do a couple more of those. We'll just go straight through them. I'll just count the breaths. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, plank, and then down into inhaling in upward dog. Exhale, inhale, right leg up, left leg, exhale, inhale, all the way up, exhale. We'll do the other leg. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg up, exhale, forward fold. Left leg back, inhale, arms up, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. And we're going to go 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift your left leg up, bring it forward, exhale and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, exhale, Tadasana. All right, now let's do a few other wonderful things. Let's do some standing postures, or let's do some balances, because I really am so bad at balances. So I'm going to take my block. You don't have to do this, but this is very good. So this is one of my teachers, because I'm very old and my balance is very bad. I have to get a different block because I break those blocks here. Okay, so I'm standing on this block and I'm simply moving this leg up and down, the opposite leg up and down. And this is good. And I'm pulling in my outer glutes here on the standing leg. And this is a very good preparation for tree if you do it regularly. And I'll do it on the other side for a moment. And I really must work on my standing postures more. It's terrible. One of my ankles is very wonky, so my standing leg on one side is really not very good. But okay, we're going to do just some tree. So we'll just move our right leg forward and we'll move it around to the side, move it around to the back, move it around to the side, move it around to the back. And you'll find a drishti or a focal point somewhere in front of you. I'm moving to the back, to the side, to the front. And now I'm going to just grasp the foot and put it into my thigh. You can put your foot down on the ground if you like, wherever you like. And I am just looking out and putting my hands in prayer. You can raise your hands up if you like. That may be a bridge too far for me today. But anyway, you do what you like with your hands. You can wave them around like a tree in the breeze. Okay, and oops, if you fall out, there's no failure in yoga. There's simply, give me more. Give me more. Oops, challenge me again. All right, now we're going to let our foot down. We raise it in front. and then put it down gently. We're going to try the other leg. So once again, we're lifting, in this case, my left leg up. I'm opening it out to the side. I'm extending it to the back. I'm bringing it to the front. I'm opening it out to the side, extending it to the back. Now I'm going to lean forward because why not? And see if I can just stand in whatever this is. This is warrior 3. Oops, I can kind of do it. And now I'm going to, whoops, bring my leg in because I'm falling out of it. Now, if sometimes you can fool yourself into doing these postures by just doing these little sweeping moments and then extending your arms and your leg out into warrior 3. Oops. And then I'm bringing it in because I can't hold it for very long. If you can hold it longer, hold it longer. All right. Well, that was a rather preposterous beginning to our tree, but we're going to lift the leg up this time, put it in our thigh, and we're going to make sure that that knee is moving back. And we're pressing in the outer thigh and the foot at the same time. And we are finding our drishti and our focal point. And it's a good day. I seem to be standing on one leg like a crane. Oh, there we go. All right, and I'm going to end it now and come down. You can hold on to it for another hour or so if you like. Now we're going to try eagle because why not? So once again, I have a block on one side because we can try this just standing and holding on to something. You want to be able to get your foot supposedly around the back of your shin. And this is a tricky thing to do, but that's the goal. Now, I can't do that, so I'm just going to lift my leg up again, take it to the side, take it to the back, take it to the front. Then I'm going to cross it over. I'm going to pretend I'm putting it behind my shin, but really I'm putting it on the block. And then I'm going to sit down as though I'm in chair. I'm going to lift my arms up. Now I've got my right leg over top, and I'm going to put my right arm underneath my other arm and move it into eagle arms. Now, you can, if you like, just put your palms together. You can embrace your shoulders. And while you're doing this, you're sinking down, and you're also extending your hand, your clasp hands forward, and lifting your arms up. This does a lot of good for your shoulders. And you're just going to rest here for a while. If you're balancing, brava. And now we're going to lift up, let go of our arms and our legs, and stand in Tadasana and see how we feel there. I feel quite wiggly in my hips, actually. All right. Now we're going to try the other side. So I'm lifting my left leg up, opening it to the side, opening it to the back, opening it to the front. And now I'm just going to twist it over top of my right thigh, and then sink down as though I'm sinking into chair. And in this case, the left leg is up. So our left arm is going to be underneath our right. And I'm just focusing on a point in front of me. And I am lifting my foot off of the block because I do want to practice my balance here. I don't want to be entirely slothful. So I'm just tippy-toeing my way towards my balance in this posture. And I'm breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Now I'm going to rise up, lift everything up, and then stand in Tadasana. And just see how I feel. I'm going to shake all of my limbs out in this little adrenal cleanse here and find my Tadasana again. And I'm going to just stand in silence for a moment and find a drishti and make space in that rice bowl for some breath and emptiness. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now I'm going to move back into my mat. I'm on the front of my mat, and I'm going to do a few sequences here, standing sequences, some of my favorites. So I've got my right foot forward, my left foot is about 3 feet back, not in a terribly wide stance, and I'm moving. I've got my hips and my hands in my hip crease, and I'm exhaling as I extend my straight back forward over my front leg, pulling back on that front thigh. And now I'm going to just fold over, and I can put my hands on blocks if I like, or on the floor. And I'm just resting here. Now here, we're going to rest here for a moment. I'm really pressing into the back heel, into both my feet, lifting my toes up and my arches to spark this posture, making space under my arches to feel the energy lift off in my body. Now I'm going to put my my left hand right beside my right foot, and I'm going to revolve my torso towards the back in this revolved triangle pose. And I'm lifting my right arm up. I'm pressing into the ground with my left, and I'm feeling the torturous stretch of this. And I'm trying to keep my breath even. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And on the next inhalation, I'm going to windmill myself around and back to the front of the room. There we go. Good. All right, we're going to try the other side. So I've got my feet about 3 feet apart. My hips are, of course, facing the front. I have my fingers in the hip creases, folding over the body. On this side, I'm going to use a block because this leg is not as supple as the other. So I'm going to fold myself forward and down and round my body over top of the leg and just rest with my hands on the ground, or you could have them on blocks if you like. And once again, I'm going to feel the front hip moving back and pressing into the toe mounds and the heels of my feet, lifting my arches up and really breathing deeply here into the back body, into the side bodies that are open. Now I'm going to put my hand either flat on the floor, or in my case, because of my wonky leg, I'm putting it on a block here. And I'm going to revolve towards the back of the room, lifting my arm up and looking into the wall and into, I guess we're looking into the past here since we're looking behind us, and finding some really joyous moments to fill up that empty rice bowl with, remembering some beautiful days and nights, sexy nights. And now I'm going to lift up and rotate back towards the front and down. Okay, we're going to come back into our standing posture here, Tadasana, and put our hands in front of us. And now we're going to move out into a wide legged posture, turning the right foot out, left foot in. We're going to bend that front knee in warrior pose and just raise our arms up and lower them down. Look to the front. Keep our drishti, our focus on our front fingers, and feel the movement in both directions. Feel that knee moving towards the back leg is straightening. We're pressing back with the thigh. And now we're going to extend out and drop our hand down behind us or onto the thigh, whichever you like. And bend that front knee and open out. Open that chest out to the ceiling as much as you can. So this is a very demanding and beautiful posture that energizes our whole body. We want to feel ourselves finding a breath in this posture. It isn't too labored. And now we're going to press up and back into warrior pose. And we're going to go into peaceful warrior, which is we're just going to drop our back hand down, lift it, let it slide down the thigh, and feel that upper arm move back over, arch over our body into a beautiful, gentle or peaceful warrior. And once again, we're going to go back into warrior pose, and then we're going to go into peaceful warrior. Going to go back into warrior pose, and then come up into triangle and move, stretch out, drop our hand down with the front leg straight and the other arm moving up. We're looking up, inhaling and exhaling. We could be using our ujjayi breath, which is in the back of our throat. So we're making a sound by inhaling and exhaling through our nose. A kind of breathy sound. Now we're going to come up and rotate our legs to the other side. We're moving into warrior pose again. Warrior 2. Energizing our arms and our legs, straightening the back leg, making sure the front knee is over top of the front foot and looking towards the front hand. Feeling that sense of the rice bowl filling up with thoughts and then emptying out. Filling up and then emptying out. Making lots of space. And now we're going to move forward with that left arm, drop the forearm to the thigh, or you can put your hand on the ground, and then move that top arm over so that you're in a beautiful diagonal. And you might find yourself moving further down in this posture. Once again, the dynamism of it is quite profound. We can look up to the upper hand. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Now we're going to lift up and back and move into gentle warrior. Front leg bent, sliding that back arm down the thigh, front arm curving over. And now we're going to move back into warrior and back into gentle warrior. Back into warrior 2, and then into gentle warrior. Now we're going to come up, straighten that front leg, and straighten our arms out, and move over, drop our hand down, look up in triangle pose or trikonasana. You want to, in this posture, you want to feel space between your ribs and your hip on both sides of your torso. So you're not extending your hips up, your ribs up rather. So your ribs and your hips, you want some space between ribs and hips on both sides of your torso. Now we're going to come up And rotate our feet in and wiggle our feet back into Tadasana, standing once again in that beautiful posture, making space for ourselves. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll take 3 more breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're going to come to our mat and just cross our legs and see if we can just find our way to our sitting posture. We're going to just sit in Dandasana, another powerful pose. I like to lift my fleshy buttocks up a bit when I'm here. I can also sit on something to lift my behind up. That allows me a little bit more forward movement. So I'm pushing out on my heels, bringing my toes back, and keeping my legs straight as I move forward. Keeping my back straight. Just holding onto my toes here for a minute. You can hold on to whatever part of your body you can grasp or use a belt. And I'm slowly extending myself forward and rounding as I move forward in this posture. And I'm making space in this posture for my breath. I can use my elbows to bring me further down and move my head towards my feet. And I'm breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Every exhalation brings you further down. Now I'm going to come up with a straight back. And we're going to do a twist here. So I'm just putting my left leg out. I'm bending my right knee, crossing it over to the outer side of my left thigh, bending my left foot so that my heel is beside my right buttock. And I'm lifting my left hand up. I'm stretching up. I'm going to really stretch up, really get a good lift here. I'm using this hand to push me up. And then while I'm lifted up, I'm also turning, and using that arm. Oh, I had a nice little adjustment in my spine. You might find some cracking, which is good, some good liberating cracking, nothing too serious. And I'm really feeling the rotation here as I look towards the back wall. And I press into my foot and into my back hand. And I'm inhaling 3, 2, 1. And I'm rotating back around. And I'll just give myself a little bit of a stretch in the other direction by just extending around the other way. I'm coming back, extending my legs out, shaking them out a little bit. And I'm going to lift my left leg up and bend my right. In this case, my left leg my left knee is up, so my right hand is going up. And I'm stretching up, really stretching. As I turn around, I'm pushing into the backhand as I turn around. So I'm moving up and around. And then I'm using that arm to turn me a little bit further, looking towards the back wall. And inhaling 3, 2, 1. And we'll just keep turning. Inhaling and exhaling, turning. And now we're going to move towards the front again. And I'm just going to shake my legs out here. Okay. So I think what we'll do here is making some space in our bodies for pigeon and lizard. So we're just going to move our legs to the back, and we're going to be in tabletop. We can do a little cat and cow here just because we happen to be here, and this is a lovely movement, especially in the middle of the class when we're very limber. So we're just doing cat and cow, cat and cow. And we're going to put our left leg back, and our right leg, we're going to move forward into pigeon. Now, when you're in pigeon, you can extend your back leg further back. So that really opens out your front thigh in that leg. And you can put your hands in front of you and really keep your chest open here. I put my hands a bit wide so that my chest is really open. And I'm feeling some stretch in this case, my left front hip and thigh, and my right buttock. And you can go down here onto your forearms, and you can stay here, or you can put your hands down and make a little pillow for your head if you like. Now in this posture, it's more of a stretch the further towards the right angle your leg goes. So if you're finding it too easy, you could move your foot out a little bit and point your foot. If you're at a right angle, you use dorsiflexion and you press out through your heel. But if you're not at a right angle, you point your foot on the floor. Okay, and I'm going to go down again, rest my head. Feel this lovely stretch here. Good. Now we can come up, and I'm just going to replace that leg with the other one and rotate around. So my left leg is forward now, and I'm squeezing my right leg back. And once again, I'm up on my hands, straight arms, feeling the opening of the chest, feeling the stretch in the left buttock and in the right front thigh. And I'm coming down so that I have Sphinx arms here. And I'm just resting here. And I'm inhaling and exhaling. I'm moving from Sphinx arms to, you can put your head on the ground, make a pillow with your hands, or you can come up. You can go into child's pose if this is too much. And I'm just inhaling and exhaling. 3, 2, 1.5, 1. And now I'm going to come up again. And I'm going to just move that leg back and move onto my belly. We're going to work on our locust, and our bow pose. So we're going to lift our right leg up, and then our left leg up, and then our right arm up, and our left arm up. Now we're going to lift both of our shoulders up, our arms up, our hands are facing the ceiling, and our head. And we can lift both our legs up and see how that goes. And we're really feeling the opening in our back body. We're inhaling. 3, 2, 1.5, 1, and now we're going to come down. And this time we're going to clasp either one leg or both legs. And maybe we'll start with one leg, one foot at the ankle. And we're going to stretch that leg out, that bent leg out, and feel our shoulder opening on the right here. And inhaling and exhaling, and then down. And the other side, we're holding on to our ankle, pressing that foot out and feeling the expansion in our chest as our shoulder moves back. And inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, and then down. Okay, now I'm going to hold on to both of my ankles, and I've got my thighs fairly close together here, and I'm pressing out my feet and really feeling the chest open up. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And now we're going to come down and extend our legs out there and push back on our hands. Oh, into child's pose. That was a very good set of back bends. Now, I am feeling a sense of lassitude coming over me. So I think that means we're heading towards the grand finale of the class, and we're going to move on to our back body and do some lovely stretches with our arms and our legs. These are some of my favorites. Okay, but first we're going to do a bridge. We're going to press our feet into the ground with our knees bent on our back body. And I'm just going to stretch my arms up over my head. And I'm going to press the sacrum into the ground and flatten out my back so that I'm pressing the lower back into the mat. And then I'm going to release that and feel my back in neutral spine so that there should be a space in your lower back and your sacrum is on the ground. I'm extending my arms out. You can hold on to the outside of your mat, or you can clasp your hands underneath your body. So we're going to tip the tailbone up and lift it up. And then we're going to go vertebrae by vertebrae down again, slowly. Then we're going to do the same thing, slowly up. And then we're going to roll that back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then we're going to lift the tailbone up. And we're going to keep lifting it up, lifting the chest up, and clasp the hands beneath our shoulders and really press into our feet and press our knees towards the opposite wall. Our thighs are lifting up, our pelvis is lifting up, our chest is lifting up, and we're breathing beautifully here. Breathing, inhaling into that big, beautiful chest, and then exhaling, inhaling, 3, 2, 1. And on the exhalation, we're rolling down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, extending our arms out. And then we're going to rest here for a moment. Now we're going to do it one more time with variations you can try if you like. All right, pressing into our feet and rolling our tailbone up, extending our arms underneath our shoulders and clasping our hands and up. Everything is moving up except our feet, which are moving down, and our arms are moving down. We're lifting one leg up, bend the knee, straighten it out, extend your heel to the ceiling, bend the knee, lower it down. Inhale, lift, exhale, extend it up. Inhale, bend your knee, lower it down. And now we're going to exhale and lower the whole body down. Feel ourselves melting into that mat. We can extend our legs out. We can extend our arms out above our head, and we can really give it a lovely stretch and wiggle our fingers and toes. Okay. Now we're going to bend our legs again, put our feet flat on the mat, and bring our knees into our chest. We can clasp the outer edge of our feet and raise the soles of our feet up to the ground with our arms inside our knees in a happy baby, and really feel that lovely sense of the elongation of the spine here as we're pulling into our feet, and our knees are moving more towards the mat. All right, we can let our feet down onto the ground. We can windshield wiper our feet across back and forth. And then we can lift our hips up and move them towards the right side of the mat, drop our knees to the left. You can just stay like this if you like, or you can take your upper leg, bent leg, and hook that shin underneath the other leg so that you are actually using it as a bit of a weight to move the spine a little bit further in a twist. And you can actually rest your hand on that upper leg to provide a little bit more, and turn your head to look at the extended arm out behind you. So here we have a beautiful twist. And you can move that arm in the special back and forth time is nothing but a movement around your body, extending that arm out and around like a second hand. If you get sticky spots or if it's too sore, just lift your arm up over the sticky spots, and then you can continue on your way. And now we're going to move our legs back into the center and feel our sacrum really solidly on the ground there. You might feel a difference between your right and left side of the body. Now you're lifting your hips up, moving them towards the left, dropping your knees to the right, and turning and looking towards the back hand. And once again, I'm going to lift my lower leg up a little bit and hook it over top of the other one. Oh, sorry, lift the upper leg up and hook it over top of the bottom one, below the bottom one, sorry. And then put my hand on my thigh to give it a little bit more weight. And I'm just feeling the gorgeous opening, spatializing. We're basically providing another space, a shape for the body to take to make more space in the lungs, in one side of the lungs. And we're inhaling and exhaling. And I'm rotating that arm around from one side to the other. And finding it to be quite a glorious movement. And I'm inhaling and exhaling, slowing my body down, feeling that gorgeous release. Feeling the opening in my chest. And now I'm going to rotate back to the center of the mat with my feet on the ground. Now here you might lift your legs straight up so that your feet are flexed facing the ceiling, and lift your arms up. And we're going to just do some flicking of the hands. It's good for the fingers, flicking the hands. And you can hold onto the thumb in a fist and then flick them open really wide. Hold onto the thumbs in a fist and then flick them open really wide. You can shake your hands out And now we're going to do some points with our feet, with our heels, points with our feet, with our heels, and you can continue flicking your fingers if you like. And then I'm rotating my wrists and my ankles here. And wrists and ankles, because we've done a lot of work with our wrists today. There we go. All right, bending the knees into our body and stretching our legs out. Feeling the lovely sense that our skin is now merging with the mat and I'm sinking into the earth. I feel my body is more spacious than it was when I began. And I'm inhaling and exhaling and inhaling and exhaling. I'm turning my head from side to side for a moment just to let go. I'm squinching my face up and then I'm extending it all, sticking out the tongue, and then I'm relaxing. I'm feeling my jaw relax, my forehead. I'm feeling the skin on my face loosen. I'm feeling the air in my nostrils tingling. And I'm going to leave you in silence for a few moments as you just let go. Feel the spaciousness that's inside of you. You can feel the tingling in your fingers and your hands. And you can imagine your watery body now finding a few edges. And the edges are soft and gentle as you stretch one leg and then the other, one arm and then the other. You can bend your knees, bring them into your body. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling. You can move your legs over to one side or sit up any which way. One of the things that happens when I'm doing yoga is I feel so completely absent and present at the same time. But I do feel in the final relaxation that I am sort of melting into the earth, and there is a sense of merging with something else, so that the edges of my body are not quite the way they usually are. But I do have a powerful sense of presence. And I just want to read you this lovely little teaching story from The Wisdom of No Escape by Pema Chodron. This is a chapter called Taking a Bigger Perspective. There was once a woman who was arrogant and proud. She decided she wanted to attain enlightenment. So she asked all the authorities how to do that. One said, well, if you climb to the top of this very high mountain, you'll find a cave there. Sitting inside that cave is a very wise old woman, and she will tell you. So the woman thought, good, I'll do that. Nothing but the best. Having endured great hardships, she finally found this cave. And sure enough, sitting there was this very gentle, spiritual looking old woman in white clothes who smiled at her beatifically. Overcome with awe and respect, she prostrated at the feet of this woman and said, I want to attain enlightenment. Show me how. The wise woman looked at her with her beatific smile and asked, are you sure you want to attain enlightenment? And the woman said, of course I'm sure. Whereupon the smiling woman turned into a demon, stood up brandishing a great big stick, and started chasing her, saying, now, now, now. For the rest of her life, the lady could never get away from the demon, who was always saying, now. So nowness is what Pema Chodron is promoting, that sense that we are always already in a space where we can feel we have ample ability to be here now and to find great release and a great sense of presence and calm. All right, on that happy note, with that demon chasing me, saying, now, 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 I'm going to say farewell for the moment, and I will see you next time.